But family is not just about children. It's not just about raising good kids and passing on traditions. Family is society before society. It is the very first stage in which human consciousness learns to locate itself within infinity. And for that reason, every role within the family is crucial. We live in a world shaped by patriarchy, and whether biologically hardwired or culturally reinforced, children look to their father for direction, identity, and orientation. A father gives a name. A father proposes marriage. A father's words shape the child's earliest understanding of authority and truth. When a father is absent, that absence is not neutral, it's disorienting. It is like throwing a child in the vastness of the cosmos, expecting them to chart their own stars without a compass. This is the soul of the fatherlessness crisis in America. And while some insist there's no excuse for not being present in your child's life, the truth is far more complex. Our legal systems actively incentivize single motherhood, not to empower women, but to divide and destabilize the poor. It is a calculated sabotage, especially against Black families and working class families, built to fracture generational strength. And so, the burden of stability often falls unfairly on the mother. In a historical system where women have been socially tasked with nurturing, grounding, and caregiving, a mother is more than a parent. She is the child's first experience of safety. She is the interface between the newborn and the environment, the self a child attaches to, the soul who affirms you belong here. And still, even beyond mother and father, siblings matter deeply. Siblings are where you first encounter difference. They are the first other we must live with, argue with, forgive, compete with, defend. They are the beginning of how we learn society. Family is not just for childhood. It is the lifelong support system designed to help you navigate this brief, bewildering existence with people who know you at your core. Your family, chosen or biological, is supposed to anchor your self-actualization. It's the first place where you are seen, where you are named, where your infinite self is reflected back to you. When that system breaks down, when fathers disappear, when mothers are left unsupported, when siblings turn into strangers, then identity frays, spirit fractures, and the self becomes vulnerable to manipulation by power-hungry systems. There's a reason the narcissist loves a broken family. Because when you do not know who you are easier to control. This is why family is sacred. Not because it fits some moral mode, but because it is the first constellation of meaning in an infinite sky. And if we are to build better societies, we must take family making seriously. We must see family as one of the most urgent, spiritual, and practical acts a person can participate in, because a well-loved child grows into an adult whose spirit is much harder to conquer. There's no one way to build a family. Some children will be raised by single parents, by extended families, by LGBTQ plus couples, by chosen families. What matters is not the structure, but the spirit. The greatest question a family must ask is this: are we preparing this child to build a better world or just survive ours? Because family is not just where the self is born. It is where the first worldview is installed. And if we want to build better societies, we must start by building better families that do not crush the consciousness of children before it's even had a chance to bloom. If family is the world before the world, then loyalty is the first language we are supposed to learn. But in America, that language has been corrupted. In a culture of hyper-individualism, competition, and self-interest, loyalty has become transactional. Commitment has become optional. Trust is something we rarely see and not something we naturally give. And this breakdown didn't start in the streets. It started in the home. Children don't just inherit biology. They inherit belief. They learn what loyalty looks like by watching whether parents show up for each other. They learn commitment by watching whether adults in their life keep promises or just make threats. They learn trust not through lectures, but through consistency, through presence, through small, silent moments where a child knows, I am safe here. I am loved here. I am never alone. We live in a society where people leave at the first sign of disagreement, where trust is brittle and commitment is fleeting. And the root of that fracture is the failure to teach loyalty as a sacred practice. Loyalty isn't just about blind obedience. It's about unshakable connection. It's about having someone's back, not because they're perfect, but because they're yours, because they're family, because their humanity is worth fighting for. Every person should know that feeling, that my people have me no matter what. Not because I performed, not because I'm successful, but because I'm theirs. If your family isn't teaching you that, then they aren't teaching you family. This isn't about money. It's about spirit. You can be poor and still raise children who know they are rich in spirit. You can struggle and still instill strength. What matters most is that a person walks into society knowing if I fall, I won't fall alone. This is what creates courage. This is what gives birth to visionaries, to overmen and overwomen. Not wealth, not privilege, but rootedness. A knowing deep in the bones that you come from something real. And no matter what the world says, there are people who will stand with you until the end. Loyalty doesn't mean defending wrong. It means not abandoning someone while they're still learning how to be right. That's what we need more of. Not shallow slogans about family values, but actual families who show value, who show what value looks like through loyalty, trust, through commitment, not just to each other, but to the future we are building through our families.